Welcome back to Save My Planet. Sometimes it's easy to forget that we're not the only ones living on Earth. But in fact, we share the planet with millions of other species. It's this biodiversity that helps maintain the delicate balance of life. Here in the cloud forest of Costa Rica, there are all sorts of programs aimed at understanding biodiversity and educating people about its importance. These efforts have led to some unusual partnerships, like the one involving Hotel Blanca, the Institute of Biodiversity, and a whole bunch of butterflies. I'm here at the Hotel Blanca, outside San Ramon in the highlands of Costa Rica, with Jim Damalis, the owner, and this place is incredibly unique, really focused on biodiversity, and it's not just a hotel. This place is such a celebration of biodiversity. How are you able to share that with your guests?
Well, first of all, it's very important that the guests have a relationship with our guides, and the guides work for the hotel. So we have people that are not only experts in biodiversity, but they came from the community. They share their pride in the community.
I mean, the guides are just so incredibly trained, but where are they getting this training?
Well, a lot of the training is done in San Jose or here on the property through INBIO. INBIO is the Institute of Biodiversity, and they do courses for guides from the whole country. So they're able to work with parataxonomists.
Paratax what?
I was afraid you'd ask me that.
You make that up?
Parataxonomists basically specialize in studying insects.
Wow.
And INBIO happens to have the largest collection of insects in Latin America.
And you actually have researchers coming here to the hotel?
Yeah, they actually live here. They spend up to 10 days consecutively at a time. Here they are on hotel property. They're usually in their research labs. They're out in the middle of nowhere. They've chosen to make a pilot project with Via Blanca and bring their researchers here and share that information with our guests. And that's, we hope it will be one of many examples that INBIO will do in Costa Rica in the future.
Thanks so much, Jim. I really appreciate it. And now we're gonna go check in with some of the guides here at Hotel Via Blanca.
The people that come here, they have a high level of education, and that's very good for the hotel and also for the people that work here, like me.
Where did you get the training to do what you do?
I studied tourism for more than 2 years and a half. The place where I study about ecology, biology, flora, fauna, English of course. Also, once I started working here in Villa Blanca, I went to INBIO. Jose Montero, that is the entomologist in charge and part of the staff, teach me about the history related with the butterflies. Once I get all the knowledge, I can explain them to the guests.
That's incredible. So you get to be a guide here, and then right here in your own yard is a whole research station.
This is a lab.
Yeah.
We have a lab here, but this is the real lab.
Thanks a lot, Roy. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much. Con mucho gusto.
What a great time.
Pura vida.
Pura vida, hermano. I'm here with Jose Montero, who is an entomologist, studies bugs, here with INBIO at the Hotel Villa Blanca. Tell me, Jose, tell me about this incredible work.
The idea here is to study the biodiversity. I mean, all the individuals that live in the forest. I mean, butterflies and moths. So the idea is to study the larvae, the eggs, the pupae, and also the adults.
So why is it so important to study these butterflies and moths? Why is biodiversity so important? In the grand scheme of things, if one of these moths was to go extinct, what does it really matter?
Well, for example, we are in the neotropics, and neotropics is the richest place in the world when you study insects. So in this case, for us, it's very important first to understand which species occurs in Costa Rica, because you cannot talk about extinction if you don't really understand what organisms live in one specific place. So the idea is to first know all the species that occurs in Villa Blanca. Then we can start detecting that kind of particularities.
You're an entomologist and you study here, but what's it like having a hotel right here also?
Well, for example, for us it's a really interesting experience because we share our information with the tourists. So I think it's a really nice example of how scientists can share information with people.
So what is all this you got here? Show me something. Whoa!
We are going out to the field and we collect all the larvae. In this case, this is a nice Automeris moth. It's a big larva.
So from this stage, then what happens? Once it...
Yes, for example, we are going to obtain an adult like this.
So this larva turns into this moth.
Yes.
That's incredible, and it's so furry.
In this case, we are really interested in generating information about all the relations that butterflies and moths has with other organisms. In this case, for example, if we study this larvae, we are going to obtain information about the host plant, the plant in which the larva used to feed on. Then we can obtain parasitoids, flies and wasps that used to feed on the caterpillar. Wow. So for example, if you have a crop with some plant, you can use that wasps or flies to do biological control instead of using chemicals. So we can produce a lot of important information for society and for development.
How do you catch these things? I mean, can we see some of your fieldwork?
Yes, we're going later. We're going to a light trap. The idea is to attract all the moth, and maybe we can walk around and to see some larvae. Or the idea is to show you how we collect insects.
All right, well, it sounds incredible.
Okay,
let's do it. Wow, what'd you find?
It's larvae of moth, and look at that. All of them are together because they want to be protected. So they look like a big organism, and at the same time, they do it for thermoregulation, to keep warmer together.
Look how hairy they are.
Yeah.
Those are some hairy moths. Let there be light. Wow, this is the trap?
Yes, this is. The idea is attract the moth to the light, and they rest on the platform, and that's it. And then we can see it, we can collect it, and we can study it. Okay, there is. It's completely done. Now we have to wait maybe 2 hours and then come back again.
Before researchers can study all those butterflies, they first have to go out and catch them. And it can be quite an adventure. That's next. Here we are in the cloud forest in Costa Rica at the INBIO Biological Station, where they take their butterfly studies pretty serious. In fact, as most of us are going to bed, these guys are just getting started. So it's nighttime, and we're going to check out the trap, see if we caught anything. What do you think?
Yeah, let's go.
Vamos.
Oh, look at that.
Whoa.
This is the biggest moth in the world.
Oh my goodness. What's the name of it?
The name is Tisania agrippina.
Wow.
Wow, look at that.
My
You see
goodness,
that?
I've never seen one so big. Costa Rica has the biggest moth in the world?
Yes, yes.
Wow.
It's about 25 centimeters wingspan.
My
It's more than
goodness.
this.
I know, when I first saw it, I thought it was a bat.
Look at that. And look at the spines. Biggest spines
Wow.
on the legs.
Wow. So Jose, how do you think we did?
Yeah, so-so.
So-so.
Yes.
I
In
mean-
some places in Costa Rica or sometimes here in Blanca, you can obtain thousands of them. You know, you cannot see the white color.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing. We have hundreds. And look at the sizes, different colors,
Beautiful. Look at this one,
different
they're
patterns.
glowing.
All of them are moth, you know, not butterflies here. Some species that we have here occurs only in the forest. So this is another important feature about studying moth with that kind of methodology. And also you can obtain different orders of insects. For example, look at the beetle.
Wow.
I have like a million moths everywhere. I think they're in my ears and in my brain, in my mouth.
Are any of these really rare ones?
No, maybe Tisania, because it's the biggest moth in Costa Rica and in the world. So I think it's the weirdest species that we have. But most of them are very common species that occurs in open areas and sites near forests.
Jose, now that you've caught them, what do you do now?
Well, the next step is to bring it to the laboratory and then to all spread the specimen, pin it, dry it, label it, and then send it to INBIO.
Wow, Jose, de verdad, man, buenísima. I mean, I'm totally blown away. I loved it.
Okay, thank you.
Way better than I had ever. You think about moths. Wow, big deal. We're gonna go see some moths, but I never expected this. It almost feels like a painting.
But remember that you already met the biggest moth in the world.
Wow, thanks so much, man.
You're welcome.
Really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna come back for sure. The work being done by INBIO gives new meaning to the phrase when a butterfly flaps his wings, and makes it pretty clear that all the species on the planet are way more connected than we might think. I'm Stephen Brooks. See you next time.